Yes, Your Honor.
Ibig sabihin, because of the support of this present administration and the present Secretary of DOJ, wala ho yung problema yung gobyerno to dismantle, remove, or any manner unpuzzle the proliferation of illegal drugs in the NBP.
We can do it, Your Honor.
So sa ngayon, wala na ho pong trading na hindi na ho naging command center ngayon ang NBP.
Thank you, Your Honor. That will be your last question, please.
Well, sir, with the installation of the new jammers at the new Bilibid prison, the building 14 of the new Bilibid prison, I am pretty sure that the illegal drug trade within the new Bilibid prison was cut significantly. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you for the extension, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you. Perhaps Deputy Speaker Gwen Garcia can follow through on that. You're now recognized, Congresswoman Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I may, this first question, kung pwede, hindi ko naman ito itanong sa ating mga resource persons, but the Chair himself. Pwede hindi mo muna itong i-minus sa aking precious time? Mr. Chair, it was settled...
Please continue. We'll cross the bridge when we get there.
This is directed to the Chair, so I hope that this will not be counted against my precious
You have
time.
a question to me?
Yes, Mr.
Ano po
Chair.
yun?
We had decided earlier that we would be holding our next hearing
On Monday.
this coming Monday, and there was a certain assurance that perhaps JB Sebastian
Ah.
would know,
Ah,
might be able. There was a, hindi
That was
naman
the
100%,
commitment of
but
the
yes,
Secretary of
that
Justice.
JB Sebastian, if he is medically fit, might be presented. If that is right, Mr. Chair?
That's
Yes.
Mr. Chair, that's right. If Sebastian is medically fit and the doctor allows it, then he will be here Monday.
Well, throughout this entire hearing, there are really two superstars as far as the often mentioned names are concerned. JB Sebastian, and now I must vocalize the question that is probably in several minds that is being asked, as well as our audience that has stayed with us all these long hours. Would we know if, Mr. Chair, Ronnie Dayan would also be presented if only the chair has...
Nga pala, no? Mamaya, before we end the hearing, we will have to deal with Ronnie Dayan, who failed to appear despite the subpoena issued. So we'll cite him in contempt and then order the arrest.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And now my 3 minutes start. My first question will be directed to Mr. Durano. We go to your affidavit. Palihog, magbinisay anay lang ta. If it's okay, Mr. Chair. Anyway, these are all in Tagalog.
For as long as you will translate, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I refer to paragraph 9. Palihog imo, basahara palihog. Paragraph 9.
Magandang
No,
hap,
this is
magandang
Mr. Durano.
mayong gabi po, Your Honor. Nagkaroon ako ng magandang pakikisama kay Jaguar habang siya ay nasa Building 11. Sa kanyang negosyo, nagsimula siyang kumuha ng 2 kilong shabu mula kay Peter Ko at 2 kilo mula naman sa ilan pang Chinese. At ito ay pinapaikot niya kada 2 weeks. Lahat ng shabu ay galing sa labas ng kulungan at pagpoproseso ng mga order ay nangyayari naman sa pamamagitan ng contacts mula sa loob at labas ng kulungan. Ang alam ko ay walang gumagawa ng shabu sa loob ng NBP. Ngunit lahat ng transaksyon at mga order mula sa mga boss ay galing dito sa loob at pinaparating na lamang sa kanilang mga tao sa labas gamit ang cellphone.
So imo nahibaw-an wa gyoy gihimo nga siya busod sa NBP.
Opo, Your Honor.
Now my question is, nahibaw ba ka ug duna bay mga shabu warehouses sa Visayas ug Mindanao?
Naa, Your Honor, pero dili warehouses na galing sa Chinese.
Please translate.
I asked if there are existing warehouses, Shabu, laboratories or warehouses in the Visayas because he's specifically from Cebu
And the answer
as well
is?
as Mindanao.
And the answer is?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala
Pero
po,
ang
pero
magkaroon
meron po.
man ng warehouses doon, yung bumibili galing dito sa Maynila. Katulad ni Jaguar, pag kumukuha siya ng 50 kilo, doon na yan, gagawin na niyang warehouse doon para sa tao niya.
So saan kinukuha yung 50 kilo?
Dito po, sa Maynila. Pag lumagpas ka na kasi ng 20 o 30, ang sistema ng padala doon, sa sasakyan na lang po, yung buong kotse.
And yung paragraph 10 mo, you are referring to Kerwin, gusto mo take over sa Western Visayas, sakto ba?
Hindi siya gusto mo take over, gusto siya magnegosyo doon.
Yes, mo negosyo. Pero Albuera makahani, so dili ni Western. Eastern Visayas ni.
Oh, Eastern.
Okay, so
Yung
i-correct tingali ni.
buong Region 8 ang gusto
Region
niya.
8 is Eastern Visayas.
Yun po, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can I go to Arile, please? Paragraph 10 sa ano mo? Meron ka yung Annex A. Ito pala. Annex A, may I refer to the first paragraph in the last, before the last sentence before number 2. Basaha, pwede mo bang basahin?
Colonel Valeroso Parderaberd in vernacular, Brad, ayaw patulan ng report natin ni General Magalong, baka niya may masagasaan.
Colonel Valeroso, do you confirm this?
Your Honor, yun lang ang nasabi ko sa kanya because I cannot divulge to him the real story from the CIDG.
But you referred to General Magalong saying na ayaw niyang patulan ang report because may mamasagasaan.
Sinabi lang sa akin yan, ma'am, ni Senior Superintendent John Goygoyon, ma'am.
General Magalong, would you like to answer?
Your Honor, I have no knowledge about that, about the utterance of Colonel Valeroso.
General Magalong, is it true that when Oplan Cronus was discussed, there was a question on who would be the ground commander, and both General Bucayo and General Villasanta refused to be ground commander?
Your Honor, ang nangyari po kasi ganito po, si General, during one of our meetings, yung planning session sa PIDEA, nabanggit po kung sino po ang magiging ground commander. Initially po, ang ground commander dapat si General Kakdak, being the head of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency and being the lead agency in the anti-drug campaign. Okay na po yun. Tapos na po yun. Solved na po lahat doon. But then, nung nag-meeting po kami nila General Bucayo sa PIDEA, nabanggit din po sana na mas maganda po kung si General Bucayo ang mag-head, being the head of Bucor. Pero sabi ho niya na kung pwede, wag ho siya. Naintindihan ko naman po because he was really very, very concerned about his safety and that of his family. And then, nalaman ko rin po na si General Kakdak na rin po is ayaw na rin po mag-head nung for some reasons nung operation. So, yun na po yung crisis. So, ang ginawa ko po is...
also offered?
Hindi po. Kasi si General Villasanta, sir, is with intelligence and they're helping Bucor, sir, at yung operation din po, they're providing information. So, nung nagkita po kami ni Ma'am De Lima, kasi alam po yung isa yung sa mga critical na issues, Ma'am, binanggit ko sa kanya na nag-withdraw si General Kakdak, ayaw naman ni General po kayo, if you need anybody to lead the operations, I'm volunteering para matuloy lang ma'am yung operation.
Anong sagot ni SOJ De Lima then?
Sige lang, papatawag ako, Benji, papatawag ako. Sabi niya, General,
Magpapatawag sa'yo?
ng meeting po.
You
Papatawag
mentioned
ng meeting.
earlier about a letter of instruction that would have been signed,
Yes, Your Honor.
and
I
this
have-
letter of instruction should have been signed between.
Our proposal is that this letter of instruction was actually prepared in the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency after the planning session. Initially, ma'am, this should have been signed by the SOJ. And then,
Meaning the
considering
Secretary of Justice?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Pero, ang proposal namin is it should be a joint letter of instruction to be signed by the former SILG and the former SOJ.
so the former SILG then was
Secretary Rojas, Your Honor.
this LOI ever signed by the two?
Hindi po na pirmahan. Ang sinabit po namin sinabit po ng PIDEA sa office po ni Senator De Lima, Secretary De Lima. Hindi na po namin alam kung ano po nangyari doon.
Bakit kailangan ng LOI sana?
That would formalize po yung operation, Your Honor.
Which would
We
mean
need a plan
which
to
would
cover
mean
the operation.
which would formalize the involvement of the
Different
PNP
agencies, yes ma'am.
under
different agencies.
under the SILG.
Yes ma'am.
And yet, in the raid that subsequently happened in December of 2014, was there the presence of the PNP?
Yes ma'am, meron na po. Meron po yung Special Action Force.
Did that mean that
They
the
were
LO
never involved in the planning. Yung NCRPO, nakipag-contact nila, but they were never involved in the planning.
Did that mean that the LOI was eventually signed?
No ma'am, hindi po na-implement yung LOI. It was set aside.
And so therefore, there was no formalization of the PNP's involvement in that raid.
I do not know ma'am, but insofar as I'm concerned,
But
the
that is
LOI
how
was
the
never
protocol
signed.
that is how protocol should have been.
Yes ma'am.
Who were in the raid? Could you repeat, please?
Mama, ang representative namin sa raid was ang nag-organize sa Philippine National Police was General Garbo. Tapos there were operatives from
General
NCRPO.
Garbo?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this General Marcelino Garbo?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you referring to one of the narco generals pinpointed by President Duterte?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Now, in a subsequent press conference that was held by Secretary De Lima now, right after our hearing, she stated that according to my source, General Magalong told him he doesn't believe that Senator De Lima is involved in drug protection and received bribe. Is this true?
Your Honor, during that time, before I heard the testimony of the different witnesses during the first hearing, syempre ma'am, in the absence of any piece of evidence that would, implicate the secretary, the senator, wala po ako naniniwala. Hindi po ako maniniwala basta-basta.
But you, by Senator De Lima, right after the hearing that we had, whereupon
My-
the testimonies
Your,
were already given as presented by the Department of Justice.
Your Honor, my utterance was done before the hearing.
So would you like to perhaps put a sense of time or perspective to the claim of Senator De Lima in that particular press conference that you, General Magalong, apparently told her source that you do not believe that and I quote, Senator De Lima is involved in drug protection and received bribes.
Yes, Your Honor. That was before the hearing, Your Honor.
Would you like now to
Yes,
correct
Your Honor.
that statement?
Definitely, Your
Categorically?
Honor, yes.
Would you now believe that perhaps after hearing all of these testimonies,
I still have to go over all the testimonies, Your Honor. As an investigator, kailangan ko pong tignan mabuti.
I understand, but what would be your position now? Definitely, you would take back this statement.
Ma'am, ma'am, kung ako po yung investigator, hindi po ako magbibigay ng judgment na the senator is already guilty of, getting of her involvement in drugs. We don't have, sa nakikita ko ma'am,
But, you,
kulang
but would
pa
you
po. I need to go over the...
categorically take
I-
back this statement that Senator De Lima has claimed you allegedly stated, and you put in a sense of time or context dyan sinabi mo, that was long before.
Yes,
na
ma'am.
wala pa akong naririnig,
Yes,
wala
Your
pa
Honor.
mga testimonies.
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
from that time, and after, this is now the third day
Yes,
of
Your Honor.
hearing that we have been conducting, and numerous witnesses have presented their testimonies. The congressmen have interpolated these witnesses.
Yes, Honor.
Would you, I have to repeat my question, would you still maintain that belief that Senator De Lima is not involved in the illegal drug trade, nor did she receive bribes?
Your Honor, after hearing all these witnesses, nabago na po yung pananaw ko.
Paano nagbago po?
Your Honor, if you're looking at the different testimonies of the different witnesses, mag-iisip ka na rin, baka involved si Senator De Lima. Hindi na yung absolutely, I don't believe she is involved. Pero ngayon, mag-iisip ka na rin, baka involved nga siya. Bakit ganito na yung mga testimony ng mga witnesses and personal knowledge ng mga witnesses? But if you ask me, Your Honor, if categorically I would say guilty na siya, I won't say that, Your Honor.
Well, that's good enough. Would you tell me what Agaw Bato is?
Your Honor, your Agaw Bato is a scheme of law enforcers wherein, in the guise of a legitimate operation, by applying for a pre-operations report, they have a specific target, usually a high-profile Chinese personality, drug suspect. Susundan ho nila yan, they conduct surveillance. Once na makita na ho nila yung malocate ho nila yung kanilang target, they will arrest the guy, kukunin ho nila yung drugs, and at the same time, on their way to their safe house, pag nasalubong ho sila ng ibang law enforcement agency, pwede ho nilang ipakita lagi na, ops, meron kaming legitimate operation because we have this formal document. Pag wala naman hong sumalubong ho sa kanila na ibang agency, dire-diretso na ho sila sa safe house, doon na ho nila paghahatihan yung kanilang yung mga drugs ho na nakuha nila. At the same time, pwede rin ho nilang ipatubos ho yung Chinese na nakuha nila doon sa sindikato mismo. So yun po yung mga kanilang mga scheme.
So it's,
Yun ho yung illicit activities.
in other words, it's a sham raid.
Yes, Your Honor.
Much like what happened with the Pampanga CIDG.
Yes, Your Honor.
May I ask you, General Magalong, given your investigative prowess and the fact that you yourself had meticulously planned Oplan Kronos, which was subsequently set aside, in the end, nagkaroon ng isang raid doon sa NBP, December of 2014, where CIDG was left out. Would you perhaps see elements of sham in that particular raid?
Your Honor, I cannot, at the moment, I do not like to speculate,
Given the personalities involved and the still inexplicable fact that Oplan Kronos, which preceded the other two, Oplan Galugad and Oplan, ano pa ba yun? Nomad, which in fact this preceded the other two Oplans, a rather mysterious setting aside of Oplan Kronos and mysteriously omitting the presence of CIDG, and then without an LOI signed by both Secretary of Justice and the Secretary of the DILG, suddenly the PNP makes an appearance, not following protocol, in that particular raid. Lo and behold, headed by the identified Narco General, Marcelino Garbo.
Madam Deputy Speaker, your time is over, but the Chair will give you additional 1 minute for you to wind up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Would you say, and my question was, given all of these, and we add right now claims that instead of the 1 million plus supposed to be money that was recovered, in fact, there are now claims that the amount could have reached 300 million, including dollars and jewelry. Would you say that that particular raid, headed by the DOJ with the NBI, with General Garbo, together with General Bucayo and General Villasanta, General Bucayo, who had in fact asked you not to proceed with Oplan Kronos because, and I will quote, Benji, kung pwede, huwag mong i-raid yung NBP. Benji, mamatay ako. Delikado ako dyan. These were your exact words. And yet, General Bucayo participated and in fact was in that raid. If I may recall, in the initial planning stage, the NBP was really omitted from the planning because NBP was really, as my colleague has said, and admitted by you, the considered command center. So my question is, would you, just by all of these strange circumstances put together, would you say that the December 15, 2014 raid at the NBP have the elements of a sham raid?
Madam Deputy Speaker, your additional 1 minute is over, but the good Director Magalong will have to answer her last question.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, I would insist that I would refrain from speculating. I have insufficient data to pass judgment, Your Honor. I'm really very sorry.
Well, thank you, General Magalong. But I think we've heard quite a lot.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. Before we will proceed, the committee will have to address one administrative matter. For the information of the members of this committee, on September 28, 2006, the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Pantanyon Alvarez, and the Chairman of this committee, the Honorable Omali, issued a subpoena ad testificandum to Mr. Ronnie Palisok Dayan, Orbistondo, Pangasinan, to appear before this committee hearing today, October 5 and 6, 2016 at 9:30 in the morning to answer questions regarding the subject matter of the above-mentioned inquiry, especially in the proliferation and trading of drugs inside the New Bilibid prison. The subpoena for Mr. Dayan was returned by the Philippine National Police with a notation that it was received by a certain Ernesto Florita on October 1, 2016 at 3 p.m. Pursuant to our rules, Section 8, Attendance of Witnesses, the last paragraph thereof, subpoena shall be served to a witness at least 3 days before a scheduled hearing in order to give the witness every opportunity to prepare for the hearing and to employ counsel should the witness desire. In this connection, the subpoena was served at the reasonable time as provided for under the law. The chair is now open for any motion from the members of this committee for whatever appropriate action should be taken out in accordance with our role.
Mr. Chair, I move
Yes.
that we hold Ronnie Dayan in contempt for refusing to
Appear. I second.
appear before this committee.
It has been moved by the Honorable Deputy Speaker Gwen Garcia, duly seconded by the Honorable Crisologo, that Mr. Ronnie Palisok Dayan shall be held in contempt so that the corresponding warrant can be issued in order that he will be compelled to appear before this
Mr. Chair,
for this committee.
Mr. Chair,
Is there any
point of
objection?
clarification, point of order, do we have a quorum? May we request the COMSEC to please inform the body of compliance with the quorum requirements for citation of contempt of a witness.
Thank you very much, boss, for the reminder. May I now call the attention of the committee secretary as to whether or not at this time that we deliberated and act on this issue, whether the required quorum under the rules is still existing.
Yes, Your Honor. Under our rules, two-thirds vote are needed before to hold a witness in contempt. And since we have 10 members present and there is a quorum, our quorum is 10. The two-third votes is 6, and therefore we can vote for to hold the witness in contempt.
Chairman O'Malley, that's the response of our committee secretary.
Thank you. I guess then we can proceed. There being a quorum to rule on the matter.
There is a motion duly seconded. Is there any objection? There being none, then the motion is approved. So shall we proceed now?
What
to
is the order, Mr. Chair?
The order is that pursuant to the approved motion, which was where there is no objection, an order shall be issued address that Mr. Ronnie Palisok Dayan is hereby held in contempt, and an order shall be issued by this committee to be approved by the Honorable Speaker, directing for the issuance of his warrant of arrest for him to be compelled to be present in the next committee hearing, which shall be held on October 10, 2011. We have here our majority floor leader. May I ask for his guidance if the action of the committee and the order of the chair is in consonance with our roles and the practice of this august body?
Yes, I consulted with the COMSEC regarding the rules of this particular committee, and it says on section 11 that the committee may punish any person for contempt by a vote of two-thirds of the members present, there being a quorum. So the number of members of this committee presently is at 43, so 20% of that is 8.6. So 8.6 is already we have quorum, so you will need two-thirds of 9. So members present. So 10. So we have more than the required vote.
Okay, thank you very much, the Honorable Majority Floor Leader.
Let us make, to be specific about it, it says here that the following shall be grounds for citing any person in contempt. Refusal without legal excuse to obey summons. So this is the case of Mr. Dayan. He, according to your records, it has been duly served and he has not advanced any legal excuse for his absence here, then it is a proper case for contempt.
Thank you for that.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
The Honorable O'Malley is recognized.
Yes, in this regard, we would like to enlist the support of the Department of Justice and all law enforcement agencies under the Department of Justice and the PNP to assist this committee in the arrest of this particular witness.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Before the chair will recognize the Honorable Tambonting, can we please hear any comment from the good Secretary of the Department of Justice?
thank you, Mr. Chair. When could we have a copy of the warrant?
May I ask the COMSEC if the warrant or the necessary documents that will be issued can be available tomorrow?
Because man.
Yeah, but it must be as early as before Monday, because Monday is the date of the committee hearing where we are requiring him to appear. What does the COMSEC say on this matter?
Bukas.
We will coordinate with the office of the speaker the required documentation for the issuance of the warrant. Within today, Your Honor, I will call now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, the COMSEC is directed to coordinate with our Honorable Majority Floor Leader to expedite for the issuance of such document. The Honorable Tambunting, is that in
Yes.
relation to Julie
Yes, well, basically, I was-
motion before we will proceed to the next interpellator?
I was about to ask the chair to recognize the secretary also because I saw him raising his hand earlier. So, Mr. Chair, I move that the suggestion made earlier be adopted by the committee.
Yes, the suggestion of the secretary is now being not only noted, but it's now taken into consideration. That's why the committee secretary is ordered by the chair to act it now, considering that the next scheduled meeting where he will be required to attend will be on Monday, and tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we don't have office for tomorrow until Sunday. So, after deciding on
Unang-una. Jonel Sanchez. We're very exhausted, Mr. Chairman. We're already interchanging the family names and the first names. Anyway, alam niyo po, hindi ko alam kung napanood niyo yung mga nakarang hearing sa telebisyon. Pero ang nag-udyok po sa committee ito para kayo ipatawag ay dahil sa mga pagbanggit sa inyong pangalan. Unang-una ni Herbert Colanco at pangalawa ni Noel Martinez, no? Si Mr. Colanco made mention of you as nakausap niya, no? At nagsabi daw kayo sa kanya na magtulak ng droga doon sa loob, no? Ayon daw ito sa plano ni Secretary De Lima, sang-ayon doon sa plano ni Secretary De Lima na tumakbo, no, ng pagkasenador. Then nabanggit din po kayo ni Mr. Noel Martinez na sa isang pagkakataon ay kayo ang nagpunta sa Bilibid at nakipagkita kay JB Sebastian para kumolekta po ng pera. So these are the reasons why you were subpoenaed. Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, nung dumating na po si Jonel Sanchez, hindi po ito ang laman ng kanyang testimonya. Tuhanan ng mga na kayo po ay nakipag-usap sa kanya para magtulak ng droga at ang salaysay din po ni Noel Martinez na kayo ay kumolekta ng perang koleksyon mula sa loob galing kay JB Sebastian.
Wala pong katotohanan lahat po yun, sir.
So ang sinasabi niyo po ba sa committee ito ay nagsisinungaling po si Herbert Colanco at si Noel Martinez?
Opo.
Kayo po ang nagsasabi ng totoo, hindi si Colanco at hindi si Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Pag sinabi po nilang sila ang nagsasabi ng totoo at hindi kayo, kanino na po kami maniniwala ngayon? Kasi hindi po nagkakatugma ang ating mga testimonya.
Sa akin lang, sir.
So sa inyo kami maniniwala. Kaso ang laman lang po kasi ng testimonya ninyo, relasyon lang eh. Gusto naming mapagtagpi-tagpi yung koneksyon.
why he should not be cited for contempt, and finding no legal basis in his explanation, that would be the time when we could really cite him for contempt. That, I support the position of the majority leader.
Okay. Is there any objection to the motion? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Majority Floor
I
Leader,
move that we direct Mr. Dayan to explain within 24 hours upon receipt of our directive for him to explain why he should not be cited for contempt for refusing or failing to appear here after having been duly served a summons or subpoena.
Is it seconded? It has been moved by the Honorable Majority Floor Leader, duly seconded by the Honorable Romeo Acop and the Honorable Crisologo, that an order shall be issued directing Mr. Ronnie Dayan why he should not be cited in contempt within 24 hours upon receipt of this order for failure to attend in today's hearing despite of the reasonable notice which was duly served and received by his authorized representative. Is there any objection?
Mr. Chairman, clarification.
Yes,
Is it
the Honorable Mayo is recognized.
is it not directing Mr. Dayan to appear to explain? To appear and explain.
May we know what is the pleasure of the movement, the Honorable Majority Floor Leader, on the comment of the Honorable Mayo?
To explain. And of course, with the issued subpoena by the Speaker, we can direct any law enforcement officer to bring him here pursuant to the subpoena. So it should be the subpoena to appear here. And then it will be an explanation on his part, because we do not direct him anymore to appear here because that has been done by the subpoena issued by the Speaker. The subpoena of the Speaker directed him to appear here. So since he failed to appear, our directive now is for him to explain why he should not be cited for contempt for his failure to appear here.
Okay. Does the Honorable Mayo is clarified? Again, is there any objection to the motion of the Honorable Majority Floor Leader? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. In relation to the request of the two distinguished generals for an executive session, what is the pleasure of this committee? The Honorable Ching Veloso is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, a while ago, Joel Villasanta and Joel Magalong pointed out that while they were willing to reveal information, these, however, are have security interest, national security concerns, so that I move, Mr. Chairman, that we come up with an executive session on Monday at 9 o'clock. Monday, 9 o'clock, executive session.
Is it seconded? It has been moved by the Honorable Vice Chair, Ching Veloso, duly seconded by the Honorable Romeo Acop, that an executive session shall be held on Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning in order to hear the testimony of the General Magalong and Villasanta, which involves national security and the need for an executive session. Is there any objection? There being none, the motion is approved. Upon the representation of Representative Paduang, who is supposed to be the next in line, the Honorable Divina Grace Yu of Zamboanga del Sur is recognized to take his place, and after here, the
Sir, pwede po bang mag-isip ang mamamayang Pilipino na kasi po nagtataka kami bakit 2 taon ho kayo at 6 na taon si Secretary De Lima pero wala naman kayong nagawa. On the other hand, lumala pa yung mga illegal activities doon sa loob ng NBP. Pwede po bang magtanong ang mamayang Pilipino na baka kayo din nasama na sa Corrupt Practices Act, corrupt practices na nagagawa doon sa NBP?
Yes, Madam, Your Honor. Kaya po kanina, ako yung ipinaliliwanag po yung mga naumpisahan ko at nagawa ko po doon to the best of my ability dahil hindi naman po ganoon talaga ang kaya nabanggit kanina ang suporta, no? Ako po ay gumawa ng mga hakbanging kaya lang ng Bucor at that time. For example, nabi ko nga kanina, yung pinaka-basic lang po doon sa Bucor ay wala pa. Yung inmates record, wala pa ho tayo noon nung ako'y dumating. Meron sila doon MS-DOS. So kung yung ating mga inmate ho ay, for example, sasabihin, Sir, kailan po ako lalaya? Hindi ka agad maisasabi ito dahil hindi nga ho tayo computerized or hindi na-anticipate na may ayos ka agad.
Sir, excuse me po. Yung mga simpleng activities lang po ang ibig kong sabihin. Yung mga labas-pasok na droga, labas-pasok na malalaking bahagi na pera, yung mga objects na napapasok doon sa NBP na walang continuous po. Lumala pa noong 2013 to 2015. Ibig po bang sabihin nun may posibleng bribery na nangyayari? Because bribery is also corrupt practices.
Opo, maaari po dahil pati pa nga yung mga gwardiya na yan ay palagi ko din pinapalitan dahil po yung familiarization na rin. In fact, nag-release ako ng isang policy natin. Sinabi ko sa lahat ng mga superintendent na yung no duty, no entry. For example, hindi na pwede pumasok pag wala kang duty doon sa loob. Dati-dati...
Ibig niyo po sabihin, sir, hindi sila sumusunod sa inyo kasi kayo ho yung head pero patuloy pa rin nakakapasok yung mga illegal na droga?
Hindi po kasi napakalaki po nung lugar, no? Gusto ko po lang sabihin na...
So, ibig sabihin po, sir, dahil malaki yung lugar, ang kasalukuyang director ng Bucor ay hindi niya rin masusugpo yun? Patuloy pa rin mangyayari?
Nasugpo na, actually malaki
so,
po. So
nasugpo na ngayon?
Nasugpo na nila ngayon dahil...
so magawa naman pala ng paraan, sir?
Opo.
Sir, isa pa hong tanong, yung sinabi niyo po kasi na si JB Sebastian ay hindi inilipat dahil kailangan talagang may head yung mga inmates. Parang kasing...
Meanwhile, opo.
Pero bakit po ngayon wala na siya doon? Pero ibig sabihin may chaos doon kasi wala na siya? Sabi niyo po kasi kailangan ang order doon, kailangan nandun si Sebastian kasi siya yung head.
Temporary lang po, Your Honor.
Temporary what?
Temporary. Right after the operation, meron lang tumayong leader para mahawakan po yung...
so temporary lang siya doon, nawala din siya?
Nalipat din po subsequently. Kasi at the moment, at that time po ay pinagagawa pa po yung Building 14. Nagpagawa po ako ng isang Building 14 na standard na merong mga rehas.
So ngayon po, sir, wala na si Sebastian. Bakit hindi naman kayo sa New Bilibid Prison?
Naiayos na po ng bagong pamunuan.
So may ayos din kahit hindi si
Sebastian. Binigyan na po ng karapatang full support po ang Bucor ngayon.
So thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Isang tanong din po para kay Junel. Junel, base doon sa sworn statement mo, sinasabi mo na ikaw yung nagdadala ng mga personal na gamit tulad ng bag, papeles, cellphone, makeup kit ni then Secretary De Lima.
Totoo po yun, ma'am. Totoo.
For 5 years.
Hindi naman lagi, ma'am, kasi palitan din kami sa close and aid, ma'am.
So, kung yung time mo, ikaw nagdadala ng mabibigat na mga bagay. Ang tanong ko po, may observation ba kayo, especially nung late part na nung service nyo from 2013 to 2015, na may mga mabibigat na bagay like mabibigat na boxes or mabibigat na bag, sealed boxes na natatanggap si then Secretary De Lima on a regular basis?
The distinguished lady of Zamboanga del Sur, your time is over.
Last na po yun.
Yes, the witness, Junel Sanchez, may answer.
Wala naman po, ma'am.
So wala talaga.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
This time, the chair would like to recognize the Honorable Paduano. Your time is added with 0.5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just ask extension if ever. Anyway, Mr. Chair, before I proceed to my interpolation with General Bukayo, I'd just like to remind and call the attention of Junil Sanchez that you take your oath to testify in this committee. Now, just like Deputy Director Ragos, during the first hearing, I tell him you have all the time, still all the time, para mag-isip-isip, magmuni-muni, at dagdagan ang nalalaman mo. Because during the interpolation of Congressman Fortuno, actually hindi lang si Martinez, hindi lang si Culanco, now a new witness, unfortunately hindi bitbit ni Secretary, no? A certain Dante Renante Diaz, no? Renante Diaz, and in your testimony or affidavit, talagang inamin mo na close kayo. And in his affidavit, napakalinaw na may mga transaksyon na nangyari. Kaya sabi ko nga, you have still time to think, and we still have a hearing on Monday. Kaya pag-isip-isapan mo na. Just like I have said, and again, sa nangyari kay Deputy Ragos. Now, General Bukayo, as a former AFP and PNP officer, have you been assigned as intelligence officer? Okay. So you were assigned as intelligence officer. Okay.
Apo.
Now, Secretary De Lima is claiming that J.B. Sebastian is an asset of the government, and J.B. Sebastian is an inmate under your watch. Do you believe on the statement of or the claim of Secretary De Lima that indeed J.B. Sebastian is an asset of the government? Yes or no lang, yes or no lang?
I doubt, Your Honor.
You doubt. Okay, that's good. Now, sabi mo kanina during the raid, may memo na hinahawakan ka coming from the office of the Secretary De Lima then. At sa memo na yon, wala si J.B. Sebastian. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's correct. Now, nung tinanong ka na isang colleague namin dito, sabi mo, because J.B. Sebastian is a manageable inmate. Now, anong ibig mo sabihin ng manageable?
Ang premise po ay yung interagency group when nung nag-uusap po, consensus po ng grupo na sa tingin nila na pagka natanggal po lahat ng mga leader, yung mga top, magkakaroon ng leadership vacuum.
No.
So,
I cut you short, I cut you short. Why not Polanco? Why not other inmates? Why J.B. Sebastian of all the inmates? And sa mga testimony ng lahat, halos lahat ng mga witnesses ngayon, it turned out that J.B. Sebastian is the most or the principal suspect in all the drug trading inside Bilibid. Now, why not other witnesses, or other inmates?
Sa akin po, being Bucor, ang tingin po ng, it was a choice between JB and Colanco. And it was decided na si JB. That's one part of the reason. The other part of the reason is, ito, kaya nga po, magpapaliwanag si General Villasanta.
Okay.
Ayun, that's the,
Anyway, I'll not get deeper on that, no? But, General Bukayo, noong nakita mo yung mga pangalan as Bucor Chief, hindi ka man lang nagtanong kay Secretary de Lima, why JB Sebastian? Tinanong mo ba siya o hindi?
Napag-usapan nga po sa grupo na pinagpilian JB o Colanco.
Okay. Is it not that JB was selected na iwanan doon dahil naniniwala kayo na si JB ay isang government asset? Hindi ba?
Sa aking pananaw po, ang tingin ko lang po doon sa kanya, on my side, ay he is more manageable and cooperative sa mga aming gagawin sa mga susunod na araw after the hearing.
Kasi kung sa impluensya lang, mas malapad yung karcel na hinawakan ni Colanco compared to, di ba? Compared to JB. Now anyway, kasi hindi nyo kami masisisi o maiwasan na mag-isip kami that the operation during that December 15 was an operation to let GB Sebastian control the whole drug trading and other contrabands inside the Bilibid. Kasi ganito.
May I inform the good congressman that your time is over? But I can give
Mr. Chair, can I ask for
additional 1 minute? Why not?
Anyway, kaya hindi maiwasan mag-isip kami that operation at nagulat lang this representation, nagulat lang nung nag-testify si General Magalong that the CIDG was the original and supposedly part of that operation na bigla na lang nawala. Tapos iniwan niyo si JB. Now, tandaan nyo, pagdating pag may lumabas na papel na indeed GB Sebastian is a state asset, pwede ba yun na yung principal suspect sa drug trading sa Bilibid gawin mong principal asset? Diba? Na-assign ka rin, diba? Hindi pwede, diba?
Opo.
General Magalong, sir, diba, hindi pwede nating kuning asset yung mga principal suspect sa isang crime?
Tama po kayo. Kaya iniiwasan po nating gawin po yan.
Okay, now, since si General Bukayo, sabi niya, you doubt that JB Sebastian is a government asset. Now, I will ask the good secretary. Secretary, Mr. Secretary, upon assumption as the Secretary of the Department of Justice, and since in public, now Senator De Lima is claiming that JB Sebastian is a government asset. Do you have any proof or document in the DOJ that JB Sebastian is indeed a government asset?
Mr. Chair, wala po. Actually, tinanong din po namin sa NBI yan kung baka may natago silang dokumento ron na nagpapatunay si Sebastian ay government asset, pero wala rin po silang mahanap doon. Kasi bago mo magawa isang asset, natutuwa ang isang tao, dapat mayroong dokumento na nag-appoint sa kanya na isa siyang asset.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all.
Okay. This time, the chair would like to recognize the Honorable Crisologo. You have 6 minutes because the time of the Honorable Marcolita is way in your favor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My first question is to the incumbent NBP director. After all of these things, because we are all here, as we all know, to investigate in aid of legislation sa mga nangyayari sa NBP itong nakaraan, mga buwan, itong taon. So, let me put it this way. How many percent do you think you have cleared already the NBP so that it can go back to normal na wala ng drugs, wala ng cellphone? Mga ilang percent na ho?
Sa tingin ko po ay nasa 75% na pong cleared yung NBP po.
So may 25% pa.
Yes,
May
sir.
25% pang drugs, may 25% pang cellphones, may 25% pang motorsiklo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
May 25% pang mga beer, may 25% pang golf cart. Kasi yun ang mga nasa loob
Yung
ko, eh.
mga alak po sir siguro wala sir. Ang nahuhuli sir namin ngayon are cellphones. Meron pa rin paunti-unti hong shabu.
Golf cart.
Sir?
Golf cart.
Wala na sir golf cart sir.
Wala na.
Wala po.
Wala na golf cart. Yung beer, wala na po.
Wala po. Wala.
Yung mga stage na pinag-stage yun na, wala na.
Wala na po sir.
So, kailan kaya natin magiging at least 90 to 95%?
Ang worry ko lang sir is pagka umalis sir yung SAF. Because the Bureau of Corrections Act of 2013 is not yet implemented. We cannot recruit additional personnel. We cannot get fresh blood to be used in both the safekeeping.
Why are you worried na alis yung SAF? The Secretary of Justice is here. I think he has coordinated. Worried raw siya, Secretary, dahil baka raw umalis yung SAF.
Ano naman sir, it's not, may I answer sir? Hindi naman po sir kasi yun yung principal mandate po sir ng SAF. Eventually, kung 6 months man yan o isang taon, eventually aalis din po ang SAF.
Tanungin natin kay Secretary, ilang buwan ba o ilang taon ba ang mga SAF na may iwan doon? Kasi worried daw siya, eventually raw maaalis po.
Mr. Chair, actually, akala namin noon ay 3 months lang. And then, kung talagang meron pa, parang napag-usapan namin ni General Bato noon na mapalitan din namin kasi there is still a possibility na kahit staff yung mga yan, there is the possibility that makorrupt din yung mga yan. But apparently, parang because of no contact policy, talagang mahirap makorrupt ang staff. But for the information of everybody, ang ginagawa dyan lamang po ng staff ay yung building 14 at saka yung maximum. With respect to the medium and the minimum, hindi po...
Yung gates ng maximum, yung gates,
SAP pa rin po yun.
SAP pa rin.
Pero ang masama nga po nito, may naka-receive kami ng information na yung drug trade ay nilipat ng mga nasa maximum, nasa building 14 dun sa medium. Kaya talagang kaya successful po tayo 100% pagdating sa building 14 because of the jammers. Ngayon, because of the
so in other words, you mentioned the jammer, Secretary.
Opo.
So in other words, kasi kung wala naman cellphone sa loob, hindi natin kailangan ng jammer ho eh.
Meron po.
Meron.
Actually, sa building 14, yun nga po yung kinikwento ko na 1 month ago, nag-demonstrate ang yung isang produkto ng Israel na mga 10 o'clock namin pinarada lang namin sa labas ng Building 14 yung may sakay ng kanilang produkto. And then we could sense, they could detect that there are cell phones being operated inside as well as ito pang sa website o sa internet, Wi-Fi.
So meron pa rin Wi-Fi doon. Meron pa rin Wi-Fi, may internet pa rin.
Meron pa po. At pinasok nga yan because of that demonstration. Nakuha namin yung dalawang cellphone.
So,
but yung Wi-Fi, na pag pinatay mo ang Wi-Fi, the instrument
Yes.
cannot detect it
So,
anymore.
do you think, Secretary and Mr. Director, na these cell phones, this Wi-Fi, do you think it could exist there without the connivance of the guards?
Mr. Chair?
Kasi, alam nyo, 8 taon rin ako doon eh. May experience ako dyan eh. Talagang kung ayaw ng gwardiya ko, talagang wala kang magagawa. Nagagawa lang namin noon dahil pakunag namin yung gwardiya.
Tama po yun. At actually, dito sa the last month, marami silang pwedeng pagkunan eh. Doon sa mga kapitbahay na lahat pa rin ng NBP, doon nakatira yung pamilya nitong mga gwardya. So, sandali lang itapon yung cellphone. Kaya sabi ko nga doon, dapat parang meron nung sa golf course, nalalagyan natin ng mataas na net. Tapos, yung iba naman, doon pumapasok sa hospital. As a matter of fact, nang maglugod ang staff dun sa hospital mismo, nakakuha ng isang cellphone plus 60,000 pesos dun sa isang locker ng isang doktor doon. So, tapos yung guardia, you could not really discount the possibility na itong mga prison guards na hindi SAP, ay pwede rin makipagsabuatan. Kaya talagang without the cellphone, palagi kong inulit-ulit, without the cellphones, there will be no transaction. Zero transaction na NBP. Kaya talagang, pero bigyan mo ng isa, 2 cellphone dyan, tuloy pa rin ang transaction.
Now, thank you very much, Sir Secretary. I would like to address my next question to the former director, Director Bukaya. Sabi nyo kanina po na like the incumbent director na whenever Secretary De Lima came there, you always tama ba ko yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Never na pumunta si Secretary De Lima na wala kayo doon?
Opo.
Wala ho. So, meron siya security dito ngayon. Kakilala ba ho niya? Kakilala ba ho niyo si Mr. Junel Sanchez? Andito po. Tumayo nga, Mr. Sanchez.
Opo. Nakakasama po ni Secretary yan pag pumunta.
So, kilala mo rin. Let me get to my point now. So,
Mahigit 11 oras na ngang nagpapatuloy ang pagdinig dito sa mababang kapulungan patungkol pa rin sa pagiging talamak ng kalakaran ng drogas sa New Bilibid prisons. Kanina nga ay natunghayan natin ang mga pahayag ng 5 testigong ipinresenta ni Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre III, kabilang na nga rin ang dating Bureau of Corrections Chief na si Franklin Bucayo. Isa sa mga testigong iniharap kanina ni Justice Secretary Aguirre ay si Junel Sanchez, ang dating security aide ni Senadora Leila De Lima. Ang kanyang sinumpaang salaysay ay sumentro mismo sa pagpapatunay na di umano'y may relasyon nga itong si Senadora De Lima sa kanyang dating driver na si Ronnie Dayan. Isa pang testigong humarap ay si Engelberto Durano, ang police convict na nagpatunay naman o nagpahayag ng koneksyon ni Dayan sa pagpapasimula ng kalakaran ng droga sa Bilibid. Sa ngayon ay tinututukan pa rin natin ang pagpapatuloy ng interpolasyon ng mga mambabata sa ating mga testigo, ngunit puputulin muna natin ang ating special coverage na magbabalik naman matapos ang ilang sandali.
Ako po si Cathy San Gabriel. Subscribe na sa PTV YouTube channel. I-click lang po ang subscribe button.